hit a target. The signal was a really solid 72, I remember, on the detector, and dug in and could not believe it. I popped open this plug, and there was a ring, and I just saw the blue stone, the blue sapphire, and then the silver ring, and I was just stunned. I really was. It was just an incredible feeling. And I just held it in my palm, and I was like, oh, my God. And she was about 20 feet away from me, and she's like, what? I'm like, oh, my God. And then she's like, oh, my God. And she comes over, and she's like, oh, my God.
I can see it in her hand.
Right. And so then I realized, oh, my God. I finally look at it again, because it was almost like I can't even look at it. You know, and so I look at it again, and I'm like, oh, my God, there's a pendant in here as well. So that there was this beautiful crucifix along with this ring. And then she was like, you got to check that hole, because there was partial silver chain that was wrapped around it as well. And so I'm checking the hole, and then, you know, there's a little bit more chain. And then in the side wall, just below the grass level, we're like, oh, there, oh, my God, it's another ring. And so we pull out this other ring. What I'm not even realizing is in my hand, the other hand, there's another ring in the grass clod. And then, so it was just such a thrill to find. Ended up being there was a 10-carat gold wedding band that looks very vintage, and then a sterling silver ring with the blue sapphire that has some beautiful, hopefully they are diamond chips around it. And then there was more of a sterling silver, like a kind of a younger generational type of ring. And then this gorgeous 14-carat crucifix pendant. And then this long, like a 20-inch silver chain. Yeah. So it was like, holy cow, it just kept giving, you know, the whole kept giving, you know. So talk about a highlight in this hobby for me. I mean, as my first ring ends up being 3 rings.
Yeah.
You know, and a pendant and a chain.
3 rings, and one of the rings was gold, and then the gold crucifix. And the gold cross is very ornate, and it's 14-karat gold, and in the center has white gold. So you got white and yellow gold all wrapped up in one.
Yeah.
And
so I knew I was going to do the silver dance. You know, I had been watching after meeting Digger Dawn at the Garrett hunt, and I just fell in love with her. She's just such a sweet-natured person, and so I started watching her videos, and so I finally got to see her silver dance, and it's just so darn cute. And I just thought, I've got to do that and dedicate it to her. So anyway, it's probably not as cute as her dances, but you know, my rendition.
She's had some time to practice, though. You know, for your very first, I'm sure it was fine.
Right, I think for your first silver and gold dance, it was epic. I love it.
Right.
It's part of my video forever, so.
Right.
I love it.
Yep. Go down in history, no doubt.
Yep, definitely. So, yeah, what an epic day. It was so awesome. And
it was. But, you know, that wasn't my first silver jewelry. You know, the first silver
tell them about that.
jewelry.
We could totally skip that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So my birthday was back in January, and so we went to Surfside, Texas, that beach. And first of all, I mean, that was my first time to beach detect, and it was like just picking candy from the sand. I mean, coins were just there wasn't that much trash. And just coin after coin. And Gypsy told me, she said, now, I just don't want you to think that this is the way it always is, because it's not. She said, you know, a lot of times you go out and you don't find hardly anything. And we are just picking them out of the sand just constantly. And and then we did 2 or 3 night hunts, that was so much fun to do that. But one of the evenings, I had found, I couldn't quite tell what it was because it was so encrusted with sand, but I knew that it had a little circle on the end of it. So I thought, it's either a sinker or maybe it's an earring, and just put it in my pouch and kept on going. And then when we got back to where we were staying, and that was the first thing I wanted to see. It's like, what is this? And I rinse it off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a pendant, or it's a charm. And what it was a James Avery luxury liner charm. So it would be a charm on a bracelet. And it was so black and tarnished. But when I got home, I bought a jewelry cleaning kit, and dunked it in and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. So within a few hours, I had it shined up like it was new.
Awesome.
So I was so pleased with that find. But just on that beach trip alone, I think I counted. I'm still in that counting phase, and I had found 101 coins, and they they were so encrusted. A lot of them, when I tumbled them, there wasn't much left. There were just a ton of modern pennies, But that was a really fun, very, very fun trip detecting, without a doubt.
It really was, and that her first silver, her first piece of jewelry. She didn't do a silver dance yet, but
I didn't know about the silver dance. Yeah, you had mentioned it every now and then when you'd find a piece of silver, you'd be like, well, maybe I should do a silver dance. And I'm like, I don't know. What is it? Like a rain dance or what is the silver dance?
Because usually I'm the one, I did I started out with the kazoo, and then I did that a few times when I'd find silver. And then I went through a dry spell where I didn't find any silver, so then I just kind of stopped doing it. And then more recently, last year, when they came out with the Jace Robertson,
duck call.
The duck call came with the Jace Robertson edition, signature edition. So I just got to where I would do the duck call, and in the last few videos, I don't think I've done any kind of silver thing. But anyway, it's fun to do. For gold, I would do a cartwheel, but I was telling Jackie, I don't even know if this whole body can do a cartwheel anymore. I need to lose some weight. So we'll see if I find. I found another mercury dime. Was it not yesterday? Yesterday. And yeah, I need to get out my kazoo tank again.
Now, Jackie, I know that a lot of us there's a lot of us that have wish lists or bucket lists or a white whale, and with you being relatively kind of newer to the hobby, is there something that you're really hoping to find?
Well, I'd say that there's a long list because, I'm just now, I've just got a few little check marks. But of course, I mean, for me, just finding just some American, like a silver dollar, that's going to be thrilling. And then when you get into all these other coins that I hear you guys talk about and see. But so of course there's those, but then, then the Civil War relics, the belt buckles and, so yeah, I would say there's just a long laundry list of white whales. But, I really would like to find, and I've been saying this since the beginning of getting into this, is I'd love to find a cannonball.
That would
love to find a cannonball.
When I was in Louisiana, she's like, "Bring me back a cannonball." I would love to find a cannonball, but I don't know about bringing it back. I'd be scared it would blow up or something. I'd leave it there with somebody that knows what they're doing about extracting that stuff from there and make sure it's disabled.
Well, it wouldn't explode, would it? I mean, it's just a.
Well,
are they full of explosives?
Yeah, some.
Oh, they are? Oh, I had no idea.
Some are. Some are.
Oh, wow. Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like you're talking to the wrong person. I'm not quite sure. The only Civil War things I have found is the CSA belt buckle and a 3-ringer. So don't know.
Yeah, when I was at the Mississippi River, I did find a smashed Civil War bullet out in that riverbed, so that was pretty cool. So I did keep that, and I have that in my little treasure shadow box. But yeah, someday I really would like to detect on a coast that has had a lot of shipwrecks, where you'd have the ability to, maybe find some really great coins, valuable coins. And when I was younger, I'm certified in scuba, and now this makes me really want to get back into diving and, and look for treasure in the water. That's a goal that I have for sure.
Ah, yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
You
never know what you'll find, and it brings open it opens new avenues.
Right, it's new,
treasure.
It's different destinations, and new avenues for treasure. Absolutely.
Because you might have.
So there's another detector.
Yeah, you might have 500 detectorists in your area, but how many of them get in the water?
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be a much smaller percentage, for sure.
Right. So I know that we like to ask before we close, because it's almost time. I told you time would go fast, especially when you're talking about fun stuff and fun stories. But I know Amanda's we like to close with a couple of questions. And one is a question that some of our guests just love for us to ask. It's kind of a goofy question, or it sounds like kind of goofy at first. So, Amanda, you want to ask that one, or me too, or?
Is it the superhero, or is it the places?
Yeah, both.
Okay. If you could be a superhero and have those superhero powers while treasure hunting, who would you choose and why?
Oh, it would have to be Supergirl or Superwoman. Supergirl, she had those powers, similar to Superman, because she was the cousin of Superman. So the X-ray vision, obviously, would be incredible to have. Then you could just drive, or ride, whatever, and say, did you realize that's in your yard? Or, just have that ability to see the treasure under, that's in the earth.
Right.
Would be pretty cool. And she flies. So then,
And she flies. You know what I was just thinking, though? You made me think of it when you were talking about diving earlier. And I know a lot of people, because that's what I chose was, something like that, like Superwoman. But, also, like in Superwoman and Superman can both go underwater too without.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Stuff.
So
that would be, you wouldn't even need your diving equipment or anything. You could just dive down there and hold your breath for long periods of time, I guess. I don't know how Superman did it, but anyway, just a thought. So we've got one more question, and I probably rambled too much. So I'm going to let Amanda ask it.
Let's see. If you could treasure hunt, because it sounds like you do other type of treasure hunting or metal detect, anywhere in the entire world, no rules, no nothing, where would you want to treasure hunt or detect?
Wow. Yeah, I think with me being so fresh into this hobby, that